My name is Delaney. I am an IVF scientist and I have stage 4 clear cell ovarian cancer. I was diagnosed 4 years ago when my children were only 2 and 4 years old and I was only 39. I have been on treatment ever since then with a 6-month break. Unfortunately, my cancer came back at the beginning of last year and chemotherapy is no longer working. So I am running out of treatment options pretty fast. I think for a long time there's been a lot of shame and secrecy around gynaecological cancers, in particular ovarian cancer. I feel that women have felt ashamed to talk about their ovaries or where their cancer has come from. And there needn't be that shame. I think by having that conversation, by men and women, people affected by the disease, people who all know and love a woman, should be talking about their ovaries and bringing them into the spotlight. There is nothing to be ashamed about. That's how babies are made. It's where we all come from. And it's only if we start talking about them that we can change the story of ovarian cancer. Not only is the disease hard to diagnose because the symptoms can be very vague and are often mirror what women have during certain times of the month, but I think there's also women feel that they can't push and advocate for themselves. You sometimes need to go back to your GP 3 or 4 times. I had to go back about 6 times. I had a very good GP, but I had to keep going back to say something's wrong. It may be the persistent bloating, it may be the frequent need to urinate, or the change in bowel or eating habits. Whatever the symptom is, the common story for ovarian cancer is it's a new persistent symptom. And I think if you feel that there's something not quite right, you should keep getting it checked out until you get an answer. So that intuition, that's really powerful. And I think women know their bodies really well. We know when something's not quite right. Don't feel embarrassed. You're not being a hypochondriac. You're trying to advocate for your own health and it could save your life or save the life of a loved one. I can't necessarily change my prognosis, but I can try and make a lot of noise while I'm here for all the other women affected by this disease and for the future. I do not want to see my daughters in 30 years' time have to live through the same story for ovarian cancer. Treatment options haven't changed in 30 years, and the only way they're going to change is through making noise. It's a really, really cruel disease, and when I saw that Camilla had done this last year, I was so thrilled because it felt like finally there is something happening. I just want to say thank you for that because it's inspiring me to do more, it's inspiring other women, and together we are stronger. And the more we can talk about this disease and the way it's affecting us, the more we can help change that story. It's easier to prevent a disease than to cure it. And if we can detect this disease early, there's a much better prognosis. So to know that there's money going into really critical research that actually is going to make a difference and is on the horizon, it gives me hope. It gives me hope for the women of the future. It gives me hope for my daughters because I would hate for them or any other woman to endure what I've had to endure with my diagnosis.